Would you like to know the one thing a man needs to feel in order to step up, commit, move heaven and earth to be with you? I thought so. Let's dive in. Hello, I'm Francesca, vibrational love match strategist and multidimensional matchmaker. And today I am going to share with you the one thing a man needs to feel with you in order to commit, step up, all the things. So it's interesting, little backstory because it's pertinent. My mom sent me this article and she's like, "Oh, I think you might be interested in this because the work you do is like, oh, great. I love it." Cracks me up. So sweet. And so I read the article and I was like, well, duh. And the name of the article, it was in Your Tango, and it is called "My Ex Taught Me What Men Truly Want in a Wife by Accident." And like I said, when I read it, I was like, well, gosh, didn't everybody know this? And then I remembered that this is my mastery. And when you have mastery over something, there are things that are like obvious to you that seem like super small. And you're like, well, gosh, doesn't everybody know this? So just like for all of you watching, you have mastery over other things. And so what's obvious to you would be like a huge insight for me or for other people. And so I'm going to share this nugget and I'm going to talk about what it means, what it doesn't mean, and then how to get there. Okay. So in a nutshell, a man needs to feel peace with you, a calm. So you are the port in the storm. You are the safe harbor. And I've said this before in previous videos that as much as women want to be appreciated and cherished and adored, a man also in the relationship needs to feel seen and heard and appreciated. That's huge for him. And when he feels those things, then he feels safe. And so it was interesting in reading this article. And so I really sat with it. I was like, yeah, this is pretty obvious. And then I realized, oh, yeah, how do I provide that? Because that's been said to me. And then I had the opportunity this past summer to go back to Spain, hang out with some of my very good guy friends, and to look at their relationships. And I was like, yeah. So, for example, my one friend, he kind of dated the same kind of stereotypical woman, like this one kind of type. And his wife is totally not like any of his previous girlfriends. And she's charming. Love her to bits. She's amazing. And it was interesting because what I noticed is when I first met her many, many years ago now, he was different. And they were different. There was this peace that he had. There was this calmness. There was this ease in their relationship. And I really watched how they spoke to each other, how she treated him, etc. And I thought back to the girlfriend that he had before that, and she was very dismissive of him. I don't feel that she really appreciated him. And when she introduced him to her friends, there was no like talking him up. Like I said, it was more of this kind of thing. I know you know what I'm talking about. And so it was interesting. And then I got the opportunity to meet the girlfriend of another good friend of mine, and she's amazing as well. And this relationship is totally different from his previous relationship, and it had that same peace and calm to it. And it was interesting because his ex did similar to what the other ex did. There was very dismissive, almost talking down sometimes, very critical. And so I was like, yeah, yeah. Like I knew, but I didn't realize that, like I said, that this was maybe a nugget that other people weren't aware of. And so it's providing that space for that calm, that peace. And this is kind of linked to the previous video about courage, cranking up your courage out and having that peace within yourself. So you are holding that peace deep within yourself, and then you're modeling that peace and you're providing this space of peace. So what does this mean and what doesn't it mean? So first and foremost, I want to be clear. I am all about empowerment, and it is not your responsibility how anybody else feels, etc. You are not to take responsibility whether they feel safe, etc., etc. Just like it's not their responsibility to make you feel that as well. It's an inner stance. You have to feel safe inside first. You have to have that peace. You have to have that calm. They can do as they will. And I'm talking about men and women, not boys and girls. I think you're picking up what I'm putting down, because there is a maturity factor. There is a certain level of emotional competency that a person has to have to be able to get into that peace stance, and then to desire that peace stance in their outer world that is reflected of their inner world. And so what that means is, well, what it does mean is, like, you're not a doormat. That doesn't mean that you don't call him out if he doesn't need to be called out, and vice versa. It does not mean any of that. But it just means that you have a security inside, you have peace in your inner world, in your divine line, and then you are able to hold that space for another person. And then they are positively, empathically impacted by that space, and they easily shift into it. And it's just easy and graceful and just super, super luscious. And so, how do you get there? How do you get to that space? The world is super noisy. And so each person needs to find what works for them. Maybe there's some grounding techniques, meditation, etc. I've been working on this for a really long time, so I can usually get there within a couple seconds. But what's interesting is that peace to me is a byproduct of another quality for me. And this may be the same for you. Maybe you can just immediately go in, take a deep breath in, and get to that peace. Or maybe, like for me, it's more of a secondary supportive. So for me, my baseline, my main quality is joy. And so when I feel into that, take a deep breath in, I feel in, I hit that joy. And then right underneath that, as soon as I hit that joy, is it's that peace. And then I can just anchor in on the exhale, that peace throughout my system. So you can try that. Just think of one quality, like what is one quality that overall is your vibe? Maybe it's your creativity, your curiosity, your intelligence. Just feel into that. And for me, it's located in my heart chakra, like right behind my sternum. Like that's where I feel it. Go in on the inhale, boom, there's my joy point. Then there's the peace. And so then I can, anytime anything gets crazy in the outside world, I can immediately just go hit that joy, get to the peace, exhale. And this is a great space to be able to tap into, not just for relationship, for intimate relationship, but in all your relationships, friends, family, coworkers. This vibration will serve you in all aspects of your life because everything is interconnected. And so it does get affected and ripple and reflect in other areas. And before I sign off, a little bonus tip. A lot of times men need to decompress, and usually they know what they need to do to decompress. Just be that safe person for them to talk to. Just listen. And then when he's finished speaking, then just express whatever comes from your heart, because words that come from the heart are received by the heart. And it's this open space. And men need our support, right? We both need to support each other. Women need support, men need support. When you're in partnership, that's what you do. And you do it from that heart space, right? But be careful with your words on this one. So perhaps in the past, you'd say, oh, how can I help? Well, I'm going to give you a different phrase to say instead. So when you say, how can I help? It then kind of takes it off of them and puts it on you. And it can be almost seen as a little disempowering, almost like he's helpless, like, and he's not. But you want him to know that you support him. He may think, oh, does she not think I'm capable? Like what? And he's completely capable, but you want to express your support. So instead of asking, how can I help? Ask, what do you need? And it's okay if he doesn't know in the moment. That's totally fine. Just be like, cool. When you know, tell me. So I hope that these insights were helpful, and I'm more than happy to share more on this topic. If you would like to know more, let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a like, click subscribe, all the things. Share with your friends if you feel so guided to do so. I greatly appreciate it, as does my channel. And until next time, more love vibes to come. Ciao.